Hi, everyone. I just wanted to remind everybody today that this episode is the third story in the Marcus Hitman series. And if you haven't heard them or you need a refresher, go back to episodes 8 and 9. Thanks, guys. The Mortician, written by Drew Grimm, read by Drew Grimm. Anthony Carbone sat in the cramped back office of his modest corner store, watching the evening news with a knot in his stomach. There was no turning back now. Paulie Mancini, the Philadelphia mob boss, known to his friends and family as Pockets, had passed away in federal custody at the ripe old age of 86. The glory days of Anthony's family were long gone. Their crown jewel, Atlantic City, had dried up decades ago. They had fewer than 30 made men scattered across 5 crews, each doing whatever it could to survive. With the boss out of the picture, everything was suddenly up for grabs now. Being underboss didn't carry the same weight it once did. Anthony had been hoping for a smooth, bloodless transition, but the family consigliere, Frankie Loretto, and the Delaware County crew had something else in mind. Rocco, the Rooster Valentina, was raking it in by moving fentanyl. Delaware had turned into a prime hub for smuggling drugs into the tri-state area, and he was making money hand over fist. It didn't take much to get Frankie on his side. The fish had always been a slimy fuck, Anthony mused. Making matters worse was the fact the duo also had approval from New York. The days when a commission of the 5 most powerful families in New York decided everything together were long gone. The Genovese family alone now held sway over most matters involving the various families outside the 5 boroughs, and they seemed more than happy to let Philly fight it out themselves. Anthony turned off the news and sat back down with his arms crossed. He tried his best to calm his nerves. He thought about making a drink when his cousin Gino finally returned from his sit-down on Broad Street.
Carmine and Dominic go with Rocco. Carlos staying neutral. And North Philly stands with us, Tony.
Carmine and Dominic's crews were the backbone of the family. The odds were now heavily stacked against the underboss. Rocco had the support of the family consigliere, 2 of the largest crews, New York's approval, and a hefty stash of drug money to draw from. There was one thing they didn't have, though: the complete, unwavering loyalty of Anthony's godson, Marcus the Mortician Rossetti. And now his godfather was going to ask him to win a war before it could start. The family underboss rose from his seat and placed a hand on his cousin's shoulder.
I didn't want it to go this way, Gino. But this fentanyl business, it will ruin us. They just won't listen to reason. Rocco's too young to remember what heroin did to this family. Frankie knows better, but it's always been about the money for him.
They didn't leave you a choice, Apples. You tried everything you could.
It still hurts to go through with this, though. I wish things could have turned out differently. There are so few of us left these days. Call the Mortician. Tell him he has the green light. Whatever it takes, Gino. If Marcus has to get rid of every last one of them, so be it.
Marcus sat shirtless on the edge of his hotel bed, eyes closed tight. The mouths on his chest sung him a song of triumph. He is Marcus Claudius Marcellus, standing triumphant on the walls of the burning city of Syracuse. He is Marcus Licinius Crassus, standing triumphant before the crucified slave army of Spartacus. He is Marcus Junius Brutus, standing triumphant over the dead body of Julius Caesar. The phone rang, snapping Marcus out of his trance. After a quick chat, the call ended, and Marcus began to prepare. It would take him a few hours to reach Frankie's safe house. Frank Loretto woke up to find himself tied to a chair in his cabin's living room. His mouth was sealed with tape, and he could hardly move his arms or legs. He could still turn his head a bit, straining to spot Cindy, but his view was too limited. Marcus walked into the living room carrying a rolled-up rug in his arms. He gently rolled it out in front of Frankie, to reveal it had a beautiful tapestry of Roman artwork displayed on it. Frank tried to scream. He tried to scream through the tape, desperate for Marcus to let him speak. But Marcus ignored him, gently patting Frankie on the head and putting his finger to his lips. When Marcus began to slowly unbutton his shirt, Frankie's eyes grew wide with terror. Anthony had drifted into a nap when Gino ran into the back room office, almost out of breath.
Apples, he got Frankie. He knows where Rocco's planning his next move.
Good. It won't be long then.
Gino had a strange look on his face, and Anthony knew something else was on his mind.
What else, Gino? You seem bothered by something.
Frankie was, he was holding up with his girlfriend, and, word is they're both missing now.
A green light is a green light, Gino. Marcus did what he had to,
Anthony said coldly.
Sure, boss. It's just not like Marcus to include women is all. He scares me lately, Tony. Truth is, he scares all of us lately.
Anthony knew exactly what Gino was referring to. Marcus had made a name for himself as the family's hitter, fearless and ready to carry out any order without hesitation. Marcus always had a way of making grown men nervous. But a few years ago, Marcus got tangled up in what the news dubbed the Dunbridge Velvet Colt Massacre. The changes to Marcus were slight at first, but it didn't take long for Anthony to notice the difference in Marky's personality. Marcus never drank anymore, never mingled with the boys, never even bothered to make his own collections, instead using a group of bikers to make his rounds. From what Anthony could tell, Marcus spent all of his time holed up in random hotel rooms, only emerging when he was called upon. Rocco entered the back warehouse and left his Cadillac running. This wasn't going to take long, just a little get-together to finalize everything. Within a week, he would be the new boss of the family. He was ready to lead the family into a new era of prosperity. No more dinosaurs holding everyone back. The money would rain down after Rocco solidified his grip and expanded his fentanyl connections to all 5 crews. Even New York wanted a piece, so long as Rocco won. The lights were off in the warehouse, and Rocco shouted for his right-hand man, Nicky, to say something. Fumbling to turn his phone light on, Rocco discovered why Nicky didn't answer. His head wasn't attached anymore. The panic wore off quickly, and Rocco turned to bolt from the scene. He didn't get far. Marcus grabbed him by the face so hard, his fingers slid into the skin of his cheeks, hoisting Rocco into the air as his feet swung helplessly. Marcus never cared much for Rocco. The rooster never showed respect for the old-timers, and always believed the easiest way to make money was the only way to do business. Lifting Rocco in the air with his right hand, Marcus began unbuttoning his shirt with his left. Rocco couldn't manage much in screaming, but when he saw the mouths on Marcus's chest, grinning at him with sharp teeth, he tried his best. Marcus started pulling Rocco's fingers off, one at a time, feeding them to his hungry mouths. Then he tore away his hands and arms, each mouth licking and smacking as it devoured the flesh like a wood chipper. After scooping out Rocco's eyes, Marcus saved the heart for last. When Marcus stepped out of the warehouse, he saw Rocco's car still running. In the back seat, a young boy was napping with headphones on. The mouths on Marcus's chest began to whisper, and he could feel their hunger growing. Gino walked Marcus into Anthony's back room and quietly left the two men alone. The new boss of the family gave his godson a long hug.
You get your button for this, Marky. Not that you haven't earned it 10 times over by now. When New York opens the books, we're gonna get you straightened out.
I always knew my time would come, Skipper. No worries.
Anthony gave Marcus a playful slap on the cheek.
If I could have had a son, Marcus, it would have been you. Instead, the Lord above blessed me with 6 daughters. Can you believe that? I must have been Dracula in another life to be punished so bad.
Marcus managed to smile slightly, but didn't laugh.
I heard your sister's getting married. Are you going to the wedding?
The look of pain on Marcus's face gave the answer.
I'm sorry about how things worked out between you two, Marky. When you did me the mercy of taking care of Angelo yourself, I never thought it would get back to Bella. I'm so sorry, kid.
It's not your fault, boss. I made my choice a long time ago.
As did we all, Marky. As did we all.
Do you need anything else, Skipper?
Yeah, Marky. Was Rocco's kid with him?
Yeah. I found him napping in the back seat with headphones on. He didn't see or hear anything, so I called Archie to come pick him up.
Anthony tried to hide the relief on his face.
Go get some rest, Marky. I'll call you tomorrow if I need you.
The two men hugged again, and Marcus departed. Sitting on his hotel bed, Marcus held his eyes closed tight. The mouths on his chest sung him a song of seduction. He is Mark Antony, laying on a bed of feathers, watching as Cleopatra dances for him naked in the moonlight.